The Invest Podcast is back with all new episodes. Let's invest. Enjoy the show. I want to welcome you to another installment into the Invest Podcast. We are all new. We're in the month of December. We're a few weeks away from Christmas, the new year. Hope everybody had a happy and a safe Thanksgiving. I want to welcome my next guest. This guy, he's a few different things. He's a print guy. Not just that. He's an entrepreneur. He's not just that. The businessman, he's not just that. He's a few different things. He's very motivational. He's inspirational. The man wears many hats. He is the owner of Den of Ink Printing. He's actually my print guy. Does a hell of a job. He also is in the process of working on an awesome clothing brand known as Kingdom Come. I want to welcome Vince Espinosa to the Invest Podcast. Vince, how are you doing, brother?
I am doing well. Thank you for having me on. This is a privilege.
Brother, how was your Thanksgiving? You ready for Christmas and the New Year's? That hectic time.
Man, I'm still getting out of the food coma. So that turkey just really hits me, and it's not just turkey on Thanksgiving, but it's all the leftovers, and how creative can you get with turkey?
Get those turkey sandwiches with the mayonnaise and the cheese.
So I enjoy it, man. It was family, out of town, in town, all around. So I definitely enjoy the holidays.
Definitely awesome. So I always start my podcast off asking my guests, where they're from, where they grew up, just a little quick background about your, where you're from, Vince.
Modesto, California, not too far from where we're at here in Sacramento.
Okay. 209. All right.
209. That's right. Born and raised.
Definitely. So basically you were born and raised in Modesto?
That's right.
Nice. Okay. So yes. I want to ask you, I know you do printing and things of that nature. How did you first get into that particular business? I mean, you do a lot of work. You do a lot of work for different companies. You actually do some work for a company I actually currently work for. Like, how did you just get into printing? How did that work out?
Well, I kind of fell into it. It's not something that I pursued. It all started with my clothing brand, Kingdom Come, the idea. And so with that, I had to get that or those images onto a shirt. So I went around searching for different screen printers, just trying to find out how the process starts from start to beginning. How do you make it happen? What am I looking at as far as, price wise? And I'm just trying to, plan everything out so I don't get stuck, losing as opposed to gaining. Right. So I visited different guys, emailed a couple of different people, called them. I really hit off with this one guy in Stockton. Okay. I went down to a shop. He invited me over. Didn't really want to talk on the phone. Emails weren't working out. He's like, just come down.
Okay.
So I went down, see what he had, went into a shop. I saw him, taking care of some work. I was just waiting for him to get himself free. We just started talking about, my vision for this brand that I have and the different types of ideas, what type of look I was looking for and all this stuff. And so we gave me all the details on it. And something was bugging me. I'm like, hey, I saw you working, but I noticed if you start moving things around, keep in mind, I know nothing about a print shop at that point.
Okay.
And I gave him some ideas on his workflow.
Okay.
And I saw him jumping from one end of his shop to the other end of his shop, and it just didn't make any sense to me. Okay. And so I gave him some ideas. We shook hands. I went my way. We were going to meet up a week later. A week later came. I went to go visit him again to continue the conversation we had. And a funny thing happened. When I walked into his shop, all the advice that I gave him as far as like moving things around, he actually did it. And so I was surprised. I was caught off guard. Like, you did it? Like, you,
Yeah,
like,
because most
okay.
people, they don't, even though it might be something that's good for them, don't necessarily take advice like that. That's
Yeah. Yeah. Like, okay, that's true. Okay. So my profession, you're just walking into my shop.
I'm like, what are you? Yeah, for
Who are
sure. Yeah.
you? Right. Like, who are you? And
Right.
how long have you been doing this? Like, what's that?
Right.
And so, we talked again, and I gave him some more advice, on what I thought.
Okay.
A week later, I came back and he took that advice again, moved some things around, and made some
Second time.
changes.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, okay, there's something more. There's something more to this than what I think. And
Something's
so
here.
we pursued the conversation, and it led in a different route. So what happened was, I wanted his help and he wanted mine, because he already saw value
Right.
what I presented. So we worked out a deal. He said, come work for me and I'll get all these shirts printed for you. Deal. I didn't know I was going to be there for a couple of years. He
Okay.
wasn't paying me, but I was making shirts and I was learning. I was investing my time here
Yeah.
after my job.
Okay.
After I had work, I'd come over to Stockton, put some time in there. I'd grind, I'd hustle there. And eventually I had a thought. I was like, you know what? Why don't I just buy this guy out?
Okay.
Like, I'm coming all the way down to Stockton. He's not paying me, which that's what I agreed to. That wasn't an issue.
Right.
I'm getting something out of it. Um, and so I presented the idea to him, like, hey, would you sell all this to me? And at that point, he was thinking of getting into another type of printing.
Okay.
And so it just lined up where, my idea was at the perfect time. He said, yeah, let's work out a deal. We worked it out. Nice. I bought his whole shop, brought it over to Sacramento, and that's how I got started.
Damn, that's a really interesting story, because a lot of people, when they get into certain things, a lot of people, they kind of pursue it. This just kind of pretty much like fell into your lap, and you're just really originally just looking for ways to pretty much just print the Kingdom Come brand, and then you kind of ended up taking a liking to this. You and this gentleman start working together, and that's just kind of how it went. So with you doing this printing, and with Kingdom Come pretty much being the main thing here, you started doing a lot of other prints for some other different companies and businesses and things of that nature. Am I right, Vince? Which kind of like, you didn't plan that either. Am I right?
That's correct. I had no plan for this. I just had an idea and I just went with it, and so I got all this equipment. I'm like, okay, now I need some work, right?
Yeah.
I gotta start bringing this to work, because all this stuff is in my garage, so
yeah,
I gotta do something with it. So I just started letting all my friends know, like, hey, I can make some shirts. You got any ideas? Let me shoot you some stuff, and so I had to put out some free product there, so people could, to get that into the hands of people to see, like, okay, this guy's legit, he's doing it, and so it just took off, word of mouth, and that led from one company to another friend to another friend, and I know a guy, and so I became the print guy.
And that's pretty much how I met you. I was talking to like a mutual friend of ours, and I was tell him about my brand, invest in yourself, yada yada yada. And I told him I was working with some print people, but like it wasn't working out. And he was like, "Hey, I know a guy." And I was like, "Dude, and then he's like, his name is Vince. He's super cool. I think you'll like him. I think you guys will definitely click." So I trusted and went from there. And I'm like, man, and you do great work. And again, I like it, the fact that you're beyond the print guy. You're more than that. So Vince, with doing that, you're really helping people to kind of, bring their ideas, some of their dreams, like, to life. Like, you did this for me. Like, this is something, having something like this is like a dream of mine. How does it kind of feel, Vince, to be able to actually do that for people? Man, you do some good quality work, so you got to enjoy that a little bit. Am I right?
Yeah. There's two parts to that.
Okay.
I enjoy doing the work,
right?
Because I'm creating.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so part of it is me just creating something, an idea. Right. Okay, the other part that I like about it is that I'm bringing your vision that you have in your mind, I'm bringing it to reality.
Right.
So not only am I able to create, but the vision that you have, the ideas you have, like, I'm helping you bring that to life so that you could continue in your purpose with that one vision. whatever it is. And so my tagline for Den of Ink is your prints are purpose.
Ah,
I know you like that.
write that
Like
down,
that.
man. Definitely.
Because it's your idea, it's your
Yeah.
passions, it's your dream. We're just going to make that happen. And that's like me as a person. I'm here to serve you. And so that's my purpose in everything that I do, and not just in the print world, but also in, the clothing line, Kingdom Come. Like, what can I do to you? How can I add value to you? How could I inspire you to keep on going with your vision, whatever dreams that you have?
Yeah.
And so I just kind of find a way to incorporate that with everything that I do.
So with vision, with inspiration, I know me and you had actually spoke personally not too long ago, face to face, and you ran something by me that really, it kind of stuck to me, and I thought I had the answer to it. We were kind of talking a little bit about nutrition and stuff like that, but then how you'd worded it, it wasn't really about nutrition. You asked me something, Vince. You asked me, how's my intake? And I want to talk about intake. And I answered it pretty much like my vitamins and food and things of that nature. And you totally flipped it on me a totally different way. And it has me thinking in a different way, not in a different way, but just the concept of how to answer the word intake. And that's something I kind of incorporate now when I'm speaking to people and I'm asking them, what's your intake? So let's elaborate on that a little bit, because your intake has a lot to do, your mindset, your success, your failures, lack thereof, vice versa. Am I right?
You're absolutely right. And it's a principle.
Okay.
It's a principle in life. And we were talking about the gym, and you like to work out, and so do I. So that was a great topic that we were able to touch on.
For sure.
But I asked you, what's the most important part of your workout, in your getting fit routine, and you wanting to get to that next level in your fitness? And your response was, my diet.
Right.
I'm like, yeah, you're absolutely right. It's your intake,
right,
which is your diet. And in anything that you do, how it carries over, how it's a principle in life, and not just for working out, but your intake is exactly that. Everything that you're bringing inside of your body. Like, I could be working in the print shop all day long, but my intake is what I'm listening to that's going to keep me going day after day. My intake is, how I'm bettering myself as a person to get to the top of the printing industry, because I feel if I'm going to be doing it, then I should be leading it. So how am I going to be able to lead if I don't have any good intake? And it relates over to health. Like, if you're going to be eating garbage food all day long, like, that's going to show.
Yeah.
And it's not only going to show, it's going to show, like, you don't get a choice on where it shows on your body.
Yeah.
You don't get a choice where it shows in your life.
Right.
For some, it may be anger, dealing with stress, mental illness. You don't get to pick and choose where your intake is affecting your life. You're just going to find out after it affects your life.
I like that. That's deep right there. It's like, yeah, now I've been speaking to him, ask him, what is your intake? And I never used that particular word before, but I always did say something like, the things you listen to, your friends, your circle, of influence and things of that nature can definitely have a great impact on your life. So let's touch really quickly, Vince, because, you're a positive guy, you're an inspirational guy, and I know you like to surround yourself by like-minded people, as do I. I believe that's why we click so well. Just talk about the importance of just having like positive types of people in your life, people that they pull you up versus kind of pulling you down, because somebody might be listening to this podcast right now that has, a few of those people in their life, and they want to go here, but they got these anchors and they're kind of pulling them down. So let's touch really quickly on just trying to have a positive, good circle, even if that's a small circle. A small circle is better than a big circle of negativity. Am I right?
That's absolutely right. There's one thing to keep in mind. Whoever has your ear has your future.
Yeah.
Right?
Whoever has your ear.
Whoever you have surrounding you, speaking into your life, whoever you're giving your ear to has your future. They're going to influence your life. everything that you watch, everything that you listen to, whether it's music, podcasts, TV shows, if you're binging Netflix, no matter what it is, whatever you're taking in will influence your life. So it's very important that you are very selective on what you bring in. You have to be very selective about your friends. If you don't have friends that are going to tell you the truth and only going to tell you what you want to hear, they ain't your friends. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You got to tell people have to tell you where you're weak in your own life, where you're struggling. You got to have friends that'll tell you, the bad points, not the good points, not your strengths. Like, I don't need help in my strengths. I need help in my weaknesses.
Where am I weak? Yeah.
But who is going to tell me where my weak points are? Who's going to be there to help me see the blind spots in my life? And if I'm not surrounded by people that are constantly telling me like, hey, you need to pick it up. Hey, you're doing this wrong. Then I got to choose a new crowd, because I'm never going to be able to grow.
Never be able to improve that way.
Never.
Yes. Everything is great. So let's touch on Kingdom Come. Let's touch on the real, what actually truly brought you into this whole print deal. Because I've seen some of your designs. I know the King's Domain, seen some of those designs, man. The message and stuff like that is super dope. I believe you can do like some dope shit with it. I really like it. Let's unpack it a little bit. What gave you the motivation for that name, that design? Where'd that come from, Vince?
Kingdom Come, the whole idea is about your purpose in life.
Okay.
I was listening to Dr. Miles Monroe, who passed away, I believe, in 2014, if
somewhere around there.
Correct, somewhere around that time. But he gave a pretty good message, and his whole message was all about kingdom. I've never resonated with a message in my life like I've resonated with that one message. Internally, something changed. I can't explain it.
Okay.
I try my best to describe what I felt when I started hearing this, but I've never resonated with something else in my life. And when you talk about kingdom, you talk about fulfilling your purpose in life.
Your purpose in life.
You talk about your work when you talk about kingdom. Now, you have to understand your work and your job are two completely different things.
Right.
You have a job, but your job is not your work. Right. Your work is what you were created to do. Your work is about influencing others.
Work versus job. Okay.
Work versus job.
Okay.
Your job, you could get fired from your job. And I know with this pandemic, a lot of people lost their job.
Yeah.
You can lose your job, but nobody could ever fire you from your work.
This is my job. That's my work.
See, podcasts might be your work, but what's your job?
Yeah.
Two different things, right?
Yeah.
Now do you understand?
Now I'm getting that right there.
Okay, it's that thing, it's that fire inside each and every person that drives them. It's that passion. It's that one thing that one person could be obsessed about. Like, I can do this all day. I don't have to eat. I don't have to go to sleep. Like, I can do this 24/7. What is that? Each and every person has that inside of them.
Mm-hmm.
That's your work. That's your calling. That's your purpose. That's kingdom.
Damn. I like that.
Many people will live a whole lifetime and never find their purpose.
Yeah.
Many people will live a great life, but become successful failures. That means that they lived a great life, but it wasn't their purpose. They're rich. They have everything that they want, but somehow they're not fulfilled. Why is that?
They haven't discovered the purpose.
They haven't fulfilled their purpose.
Yeah. One of the things I had a past guest that actually had asked me, and they said, Jonathan, do you know one of the two most important days of your life? And I said one of them, the day you're born. Of course, you have to be born. And then she told me the second most important day, and if you find this second thing out, you're truly blessed. It's purpose. It's pretty much, what were you meant to do? Some people are meant to be motivators and healers and things of that nature. and they do that. But so many people end up living lives that are truly unfulfilled. Like you said, they have the house, they have the money, they have the car, and they're wondering, like, why are they unhappy? I had another guest. He's the founder of like the Self-Love Institute. He said the same thing. And he said had a job and he was making truckloads of money. But at the end of the day, he was even living on the beach and he didn't know like why he was unhappy. He couldn't figure it out because the bank account looked good. But he said he was not fulfilling his purpose.
Yeah, and that's very important for us to understand, because when you find your purpose in life, I believe there's three things that happen.
Okay.
And these are the three words that I choose to go with: kingdom, kingdom come, apparel brand, and kingdom, the message.
Yeah.
Dominion, subdue, and reign.
Yeah.
That's dominion, subdue, and reign. Three words that we don't really hear. They're not popular. They're not like sexy words nowadays, you know. But dominion,
Reign,
all
reign
that
is
means
in Spanish. Reign.
all that means is the power to rule over an area. So if you understand, we have a power to rule over a certain area. Subdue means to control something, and usually by force. Now, we have to do that every single day. Getting out of bed for me, like I have to forcefully get out of bed. I have to just jump up out, because you know what? I'm fighting those warm blankets.
Right.
So, I mean, there's a lot of things that I have to overcome every single day. Mm-hmm. And so that's subdue, right? And then there's reign. After we understand that we have the power to rule, and after we subdue, like it, for me, it'd be the printing world or the apparel industry. After I do those, then the third is reign, where I rule and influence for a period of time.
King.
And we were all called to do that. And that is the power that each and every one of us is searching for. We're all searching for that power over circumstance.
One thing that you have with this brand that I feel is super dope that some of these other brands don't. Some of them do. But the first thing you have to have is you have a really strong brand message. You have a really strong of why you're doing this and why you're here. And that's really strong, inspirational, and really, really dope. I look forward to seeing like the evolution of that. I believe you definitely are going to do some great things with it. I've seen some of your initial designs and I absolutely love it. So we got some more plans, more things to come from Kingdom Come. Am I right, Vince?
That's right.
Do it. So before we get out of here, like the COVID has like ravaged the world. We're going on almost 2 years of this, dealing with this. And I know there's another crazy variant out there somewhere. So we don't really know when it's going to end, if it's ever going to end. But I know a lot of people had to really look in the mirror the past 2 years at their life, their circumstances, just things. Because a lot of us were on lockdown. And I remember for a period of time, many of us that were not essential workers did not go to work. So a lot of us were pretty much sitting around, had time on our hands. Some of us discovered new skill sets, started businesses and things of that nature. But I believe that one thing that COVID kind of taught us is you have to expect the unexpected. And one thing I believe, and I think me and you touched on it, is having like your own like business or even something on the side now is not really that much of a luxury anymore with all the things that are going on in this day and age. It's kind of more like essential. Would you kind of say?
I would. You know, COVID came and it made a mess everywhere. You know, There was a lot of loss. Everyone has been touched by it. There was a lot of loss, and a lot of people had to quickly find new ways to make money.
Right.
You know, and so we were forced into doing something because we've had something taken from us. And that I like. Because who are you without your job? Like whatever it is that you're doing now, if that were to be taken from you, who are you?
Who would you
Can I still influence somebody without a press for shirts?
Right.
Can I still influence somebody without, you know, whether it be on a podcast, you know, face to face? Can I still find people to talk to influence them, to let them know that, you know, there's still more in life? We just have to get creative. And so now, because of the pandemic, and taking so many things from us, our businesses, jobs, loved ones, what's next? A lot of people are waiting to return to normal.
Right.
I find that crazy after so long. If you're waiting to return to normal, you live in a world that no longer exists.
Normal's. We've been shook to our core, and it's never going to go back to normal.
Yeah, there is no normal. What the new norm is are side hustles.
Yep.
We have to understand that no one's coming to save us.
Nope.
Like, the only person that is going to get me out of the situation that I'm in is me. And right now is the best time to do that. Whether it's baking, whether it's, sewing, no matter what skills that you have, right now is the time to make a business out of it. It is time to invest everything that you have, your time, your money, all your effort into yourself and getting that one passion out in front of people's eyes.
Yeah, man, that's a big thing that my brand is about. Invest in yourself. Invest in yourself. Personal Growth Code, the Invest podcast is really big on entrepreneurship, business, investing in your skill sets and just finding out your true purpose. Before I let you go, Vince, let's talk really briefly. I know that you're heavily involved with your church as well. You do speaking there. You handle a lot of the organization and things of that nature. That's one of your purposes. Am I right?
That's a great place that I can help coach, mentor, teach people, speak kingdom, speak life into people so that they can, when they leave that church building, they can go and influence others. One of the biggest things is we don't really need another business, another great idea. Right. We don't need all these other things that we thought we need. What we need right now are leaders. And so, helping out at my church, I'm able to help build leaders.
Definitely love that. Again, that's you got it seems like you definitely have found a few of your purposes out there. So Vincent, before I let you go really quickly, man, what types of like inspiration or motivation would you have for anybody who has an idea, wants to bring it out, they're worried about it not being perfect, they want to become an entrepreneur? What would you tell them? I've had a few entrepreneurs on the show. They've always said something a little bit different, but I always like to finish my show with business people, with entrepreneurs, and saying, just give me a quick message to some of these aspiring entrepreneurs that are listening to this, Vince.
Some final words for the entrepreneur that is wanting to get their product, their business out there in front of the eyes. It's not about you. Your business that you have, your idea that you have, the gift that you have inside you, it's not about you. People are waiting for you to show up.
Oh. So come in.
You have what they need.
Okay.
So just put it out there. Don't worry about it being perfect. In time, through the process, it will get there. But somebody is waiting for you to show up.
Guys, hear that? Show up. Bring your idea out there. Doesn't have to be perfect right away. You'll get there through the trials, the tribulations. You'll learn, you'll grow, you'll improve. Vince Espinosa, it's been awesome having you on the Invest podcast. Vince, if anybody wants to get some good prints from you, how would they get in touch with you? Or say they want to learn, say they just want to hear more about Kingdom Come. Like I said, you're a true motivational dude. You're in my circle now. Look forward to meeting you again, just having our little powwow, bouncing ideas off each other, man. That's really awesome to have those types of people in your circle. But how do they get at you, Vince? They might need some of those prints, man.
You know what? The best way, they're going to hit you up, man.
Okay. So if you guys want to get in my man Vince, go ahead and DM me. Like I said, he is my print guy for the Invest Lifestyle brand. Awesome stuff. We got more stuff to come, Vince. I look forward to speaking to you soon. I look forward to also getting those new hats. I'm excited about that, man. And I'll chat with you soon, brother. You enjoy the rest of your evening.
All right, man. Thank you for having me. It was a pleasure.
All right, guys. See you guys next time. Peace out. All right.